All right, so this has been on my mind for a while, so I feel like I'm just going to ramble about pairings in Genealogy of the Holy War uh, and how good I think they are. I'm going to be judging these largely in a vacuum, so like whether or not, like it sure would be nice to get Forseti onto your into Gen 2, and a lot of pairings don't give you that and will sacrifice that, but I'm not holding that against the pairing itself. I'm largely just going to judge in a vacuum how the kids themselves compare against one another. Uh, Starting off by judging Ira. Okay, so Alec, there is no meaningful reason to pick him. He does come with sword inheritance, but that is not super important for swords for the most part. I'll get into that a bit later, but he doesn't provide any skills because both of the kids have pursuit as a class skill, and Ira already has nihil or awareness, whatever you want to call it. So there's that, and the stats that Alec gives are kind of unremarkable. Um, so yeah, it's not like it's horrible overall or anything, but like I said, there's no meaningful reason to pick this over other options. Noish is solid. This is a pretty popular one. I kind of disagree that it's as good as certain other people like to claim, but it is certainly entirely solid. I'm not going to fault someone for going for that. The good things here are that Noish gives sword inheritance and critical. And because Ira's holy blood, these kids are going to have really good skill. The classes that they're in also have really good base skills, so that's just and the way stats work is it just adds your inherent stats, which go up to 15, and then it adds your class bases. So like them being in really high skill classes really helps that too. So they're going to be critting lots. Um, but yeah, otherwise it's just a case of like basically any pairing on Ira is fine, and this one gives some small benefit. So it's entirely fine. Arden is he'll give you good strength and pretty good defense, and you get vantage. The problem is Lex kind of does that, except better. Arden will give more strength, but it's not like a super meaningful thing that he's granting them. Like overall, I mean, it's entirely fine. I could even say solid, but actually, I'm inclined to even go solid for this one. It's a pretty good pairing. I mean, it's not that good, but like it's. I mean, it's solid. And sword inherent's not the worst thing to have, but you know, not that great. Their speed will be a little bit lacking, but they're going to be fast anyways. Again, their class gives a ton of speed, and they're not going to have problems with hitting pursuit thresholds. Not really. Finn is kind of eh. He gives Miracle, which has niche applications. Honestly, I think the best application for Miracle is to help you cheese the arena on units that would otherwise struggle. But Irish kids will not be struggling in the arena, so there's that. Um, there are some niche applications outside of that, but yeah. Otherwise, it's generally an unremarkable stat line that you're getting, and you're not benefiting from the pursuit from Finn. You're also technically making Finn's inheritance worse for second gen because he's a second gen unit, and this kills what he gets. I mean, that doesn't. I'm not counting that against this, but it's actually. I'd even go small niche maybe because Miracle is a small niche that they get. But yeah, overall, I don't recommend this pairing at all. Lex is the best one. I I will always. This has basically been my opinion for ages. Um, People who argue against Lex, the main thing that talk about usually is that Lex does not pass down swords to Ira's son. However, the thing about that is that the issue there is that you don't need to. You get multiple other characters at the start of Gen 1 who can inherit A rank swords. You can just have them inherit like one or two extras and then sell it at the first castle and then just have Ira's son buy it like right away. Even if that's too out of the way and you forego the entire first chapter of the second generation, I still think like this is still your best option. If you don't want to get swords on the like even foregoing swords on the first map. Getting double experience is so good for getting a unit off the ground and really snowballing. What else is good for a combat unit that likes to frontline and really snowball is having extra defense so that you can take more rounds of combat. Lex gives you tons of defense and a double experience. This is a huge boon to these two kids that allow them to really snowball into basically your best combat units that are overpowered and can deal with everything without any problem whatsoever. So like I don't think the inheritance is a meaningful downside. Like the one thing Ira lacks in Gen 1 is that her bulk is well, aside from not having a horse, of course, is that her bulk is pretty bad. And Lex just fixes that up so nicely. Like this is I would say easily the best pairing for these two. You know, the inheritance doesn't really matter. This isn't like bows or something where inheritance really does matter because we'll get to that later. But Lester without bows is really bad. Um, you don't need the extra swords because you can have other units inherit that. It's fine. Azel, you are a funny meme. So what you can do with Azel is give the kids magic. So if you want to use the funny magic swords at 1-2 range and Astra proc with your Thunder Sword or whatever, Azel allows that to actually do damage that means at least a little something. There's not much other than that is noteworthy. Like this will sacrifice a lot of strength, especially on Ira's son. But yeah. And on that note, Claude does the same thing. Like neither of these give Ira's kids any skills. Azel has pursuit, but again, the kids have it as a class skill. Claude does give more resistance, I think. Technically, Ira's son will have the same magic growth with both of these, but the daughter will have way more magic growth with Azel because of the Holy Blood. So, I mean, if you're gonna do one of these, I'd probably go with Claude, assuming you're not sending him anywhere else, of course. But like, just judging in a vacuum, yeah, it's you get the thing with Claude is you can also because of the resistance, you can give him like a barrier sword or something, and just have a funny amount of resistance, and possibly even have enough to dodge status stabs around Ida in the second generation. So, like, it's a thing. Midir, I'm inclined to say there's no meaningful reason to pick him. Uh, what does he even do? I know he has pursuit as a personal skill. Let me actually double check right now. Okay, so Madeira gives charge. That is at least a funny meme, I guess. The kids don't really need extra rounds of combat, but charge. What's the other thing that translators call it? A cost, I think. Or if you want to go with the Japanese, Totsugeki. Yeah. These kids don't really need it. I mean, plus it's a bit of a bulk hazard sometimes. But I mean, it's technically a thing, I guess. Wouldn't recommend it, but you know. Okay, Jamka. Okay, so Jamka's next. Jamka is basically just better than Madir in any kind of meaningful way. Like the thing is, you do still get a cost, but you also get adept. Uh, Now, granted, Ira's daughter gets adept on promotion anyways, but her son doesn't. So plus you have it before promotion, so that's still nice. Yeah, I'd say this is probably better than Arden. Um, Not a whole lot to say other than that. Actually, no. This is actually really good strength on par with Arden. I believe these two have grant the best amount of strength to Ira's kids overall. Um, so yeah, I mean, overall, this is a solid pick. I mean, it's pretty hard to go wrong with Ira's picks, regardless. But yeah, no, this is a totally solid one. Everything I said about inheritance with regards to like Lex applies to anyone who doesn't grant the extra inheritance. So there is that. Um, so yeah, pretty good pick overall. All right, so Do. What Do gives is remarkably good growths, a lot better than you would probably expect, kind of across the board, except for HP. He also gives Bargain and Soul. Now, only sword users can use Soul, Luna, and Astra in Genealogy, so these kids actually do benefit from Soul. Bargain is a little bit more questionable. Like, these kids don't have money issues. I guess you can pass around rings on them really easily this way. Um, he's solid. Um, how solid? Yeah, probably around there. Like the thing is, Soul is a little bit unreliable. It does exist. I guess Bargain could be used with the Earth Sword. I don't know if that stacks with Soul. It would be kind of funny if it did. Genuinely never tried it, but yeah. Ira's kids, but with solid stats. So that's kind of all you need to be solid, honestly. Here, like you can't really go wrong with Ira pairings. Okay, okay. So Holland, uh, whatever the translation calls him now, I don't know. I'm just gonna say Holland because that's what I know him by. Um, he gives you overkill skill growth. Uh, Arguably the second highest skill growth out of anyone here because the thing is Lex getting double experience is kind of giving you skill on par or faster than Holland anyways, and they're going to cap skill regardless, so you're kind of hitting skill cap faster with Lex anyways. But yeah, no, the big draw here is the funny meme of having major Odo blood, which means that you can do some shenanigans to have the kids use Belmung. Uh, while I don't know how much I'd count the Balmung portion of that, but the having skill, and also he does have Luna, which doesn't stack with Astra in this game. I don't know which takes priority. That's also relevant for Soul Undo. Um, he is still like a solid option, all things considered. Like I think I'd rather have critical on Noish because you can crit when Astra fires off, whereas you can't Luna when Astra fires off. Um, Luna is very good in this game. For those who might not be unaware, it negates all defense and guarantees a hit. And hits are not always guaranteed in Genealogy, so that part is nice. Soul also guarantees hits when it procs, but yeah, having the guaranteed hit and also doing a ton of damage because you negated all their defense is really nice. How nice is it? I think I'd rather have Jamka, honestly. Actually, wonder if I'd rather have Jamka than Noish. Would I? No, no. I think this is where I'd put it. Um, Holland is still like overall like a really good pick. I mean, I did say the skill growth is overkill, but having lots of skill is still really nice. Like I think it's 125% skill growth on Ira's son with him as a father. I mean, that is still, of course, really good, obviously. And other combat stats are pretty solid, all things considered. Like again, can't go wrong with Ira's options. So, all right. So Beowulf, He gives the same skills as Midir, and after thinking about this more, I think I need to do this with these two because unlike the magic options here, these two actually give strength to the kids. So, anyways, yeah, Beowulf is basically just better Midir, strictly better uh, growths and the same skills and sword inheritance. So overall, yeah, I got to put him up here. I think um, having a cost is fine-ish, I guess. Nothing too impressive, but I mean, I've kind of already said anything I could say about him. Like totally fine, solid growths, skills are fine, uh, and I kind of skipped over Lemon before. I probably should have paired him up with the other magic users. Really good speed, not as good magic as the other two. So kind of, I'm inclined to put him down here, honestly. Like you can do the funny meme with him, but these two are strictly better because they have way more magic that they give to the kids. So there's that. Yes, you do have the funny overkill speed, but there's no reason to that for that to specifically be on Ira's kids. Like kind of just outclassed in the funny meme by these two. All right, so Lester and Lana, Idine's kids. So unlike last time where I said inheritance doesn't really matter that much for pairings, this time it really does. If you don't get bow inheritance for Lester, um, he is going to be stuck on iron for a while, and iron bow is not cutting it. Not if you want to be any good at all. So that's going to be a huge talking point here, unlike last time. All right, so for these pairings, we're mostly going to be talking about Lester. Lana is going to be an adequate staff bot, basically regardless of who you pick, and any combat she does is limited to after promoting, and she's stuck on 5 movement even after promotion. So, like, we're really not super concerned about her combat. I'll mention it perhaps when it's relevant in pairings, but for the most part, it's going to be the Lester show. Okay, so with that out of the way, I'm going to try to go through these relatively quickly. Alec gives Pursuit, which is good for Lana on promotion and good for Lester in general. However, no bow inheritance is really bad. Alec, no bow inheritance and no pursuit. Yes, you give critical, but that's not cutting it. Arden, this is horrible. Vantage on a bow user, yeah, you're not getting much out of that. Vantage on a staff bot, yeah, no. Finn, kind of like Alec, probably a little bit better, but overall, just pursuit, but no bow inheritance. Lex, double experience is really nice. It's kind of always really nice, but other than that, it's really bad. I mean, double experience on a staff user is nice to get them extra experience, I guess, kind of. But I don't know. There's lots of good staffs you can spam for experience. I'm tempted to even put him down here because actually, yeah, no, I think I will. Um, the thing is, while they will be getting double experience, and that's good, to what end when your combat is going to be this bad as Lester? And again, staff user doesn't really need extra experience. Not really, I guess. Yeah, I mean, especially since you have her from the start of the gen, so it's not like she's going to be struggling to keep up experience wise. Okay, Azel, this is one of your better ones. I'm tempted to put in best, honestly. Like, it helps magic, which is nice for Lana, and it gives Actually, no. What am I saying? Doing best? Because no bow inheritance. I forgot about that. That one's kind of important, but this one helps Lana more than any of the others so far. because it helps her magic growth, and that will help her heal better and have better. This is probably Lana's best combat one once she's promoted because it gives both pursuit and a solid magic stat. Um, but yeah, Lester is really suffering this way. He doesn't even have a strength stat now. But yeah, I mean, it at least gives Lana a little extra if you're willing to sacrifice Lester not having any strength or bows. Midir. Lester really wants bow inheritance. This also gives a cost and critically it gives pursuit. So yeah, this really helps Lester here. Arguably the single best pairing you could do just for if you want Lester to function. This one's actually pretty solid, kind of. So this is really bad for Lester, once again. However, staff user having access to bargain, that's kind of enticing, actually. Allows you to spam really big staves all the time without having to worry as much about Patty or Daisy giving her gold. So that is genuinely nice. Jamka, bow inheritance, very important for Lester. Solid stats, however, critically, no pursuit. So you may want to strongly consider the pursuit ring on here. I would say without the pursuit ring, this is worse than Midir. If you do have the pursuit ring, though, then obviously better. But I mean, that's extra favoritism here, so there's that to be worth considering. Holland doesn't even give pursuit. Pursuit is a class skill on him. He does not grant it. And wait, what am I doing? Putting him here. He needs to go down here. Enjoy your high skill stat on Lester for those iron bow shots being fired off. No. It does nothing for Lana. Like, Luna is sword only, and neither of these use swords. Like, no. Don't do this. Beowulf. Basically pursuit and I think charge, right? So maybe better than Alec. Basically everything I said about Alec, but slightly better. Again, not worth doing. Okay, magic stat, but unlike Azel, worse magic and also no pursuit. I would say no meaningful reason to pick. I mean, the slightly more magic, actually, slightly more magic for Lana. Lester will be nice and fast, I guess, for whatever tiny amount that's worth. Like, don't pick any of these, honestly. And then Claude. This one, I think we're going to go here. So Claude has a couple of unique things going on. Doing the pairing itself gets you a rescue staff early. I think Azel also does that, if I'm not mistaken. But the key thing here is that Claude actually gets you the rescue staff early because this will allow Lana's staff rank to be A, which means she can use Fortify and the key thing here, rescue from the start of the second generation. This can be quite handy, especially like in Chapter 7, after capping the first castle, having rescue get out of there much quicker. Actually, wait, no, after you cap whatever. Rescue in general, very nice to have. You want to go fast? Rescue's great. Claude gives you rescue. It will also give you the worst Lester imaginable. He is hilarious. Do you want to be locked to an iron bow with no skills and a lot of luck? Enjoy your luck stat being high. You know that stat everyone calls the best stat in the game, luck? And enjoy your Valkyrie staff just sitting there in your inventory taunting you. Like, this is really comically bad for Lester, but you get a lot, you get meaningful boons to Lana. Like the extra magic, it doesn't hurt. Fortify is totally cool. But yeah, it's the rescue show. Like I do recommend giving this a shot sometime if you really want to do the rescue stuff. Like honestly, some people might even put Claude up here because like having rescued that early is like really nice depending on what kind of play style you're going for. But for general use, yeah, I'd put Claude in solid. All right, so Alec. Alec gives you Pursuit and Sword Inheritance. And while I did say that Sword Inheritance doesn't really matter on Ira's choice, I think it matters a little bit more here because I think Delma is stuck with an iron sword until that first castle, which is a lot worse than being stuck with an iron blade. So there is that, but I mean, it still doesn't matter that much. Um, However, I'd say probably solid overall because these kids really do want pursuit, and I mean Alex gives them pursuit and sword inheritance. Noish, I'm inclined to say no real reason to pick. Um, so Delmut's class actually has a very high amount of skill, so that is kind of nice with having critical. However, not having pursuit is really bad, and I don't think you're wanting to give him the pursuit ring just so he can be kind of mediocre, anyways. Uh, Nana doesn't really like the pairing very much either. Like I don't know, I might move him down after, but like yeah, it's not great. Um, Arden, no pursuit. I don't think these two really care about having Vantage. The strength and defense is nice, but the other stats are not. These kids actually, I didn't mention yet, they actually kind of do care about skill a little bit. Um, their skill growth from their mother is not very good, and Arden is really not helping that case. So that is worth noting too. Um, I mean, not that it's like required that you have skill, but like it would be nice. Um, Finn, basically Alec, but without the sword inheritance. Nothing super to remark about, I guess. I mean, Miracle is nice. You can help him clear the arena a little better. Yeah, I would. I would arguably, yeah, put Finn above Alec for that reason. Like again, sword inheritance is nice, but it's not like that nice. It doesn't matter that much, especially not for very long, because you just buy new swords that sell if sells at the first castle, so it's fine. Lex, I mean, double experience is a thing, but their combat is like Delmut's really not gonna like what what's going on there, other than having double experience. Nana likes it more because she can use staves, but still, like that, it's overall pretty bad pick. Hazel, this one's pretty solid actually. Delmud's strength will be lacking a bit, but he will at least have pursuit. You can do funny meme of magic sword. Nana really likes this because much more magic growth. And she is stuck on C rank staves unless you pair with Claude. So this is a very Nana focused option. But I mean, overall solid. I mean, it's not like Delmut's awful like this because he still has pursuit. So there is that. Midir, pursuit, and what was it? Charge, I think, a cost. Yeah. Better than Finn, I would say. Yeah, I mean, no sword inherits again, but again, doesn't super matter that much. Um, Pursuit, okay stats. Yeah. Do. Ooh. I mean, half cost on Earth Sword if you want to use that. I mean, Nana would have that by default if you don't mess with inventories, but Yeah, no. Overall, like it's a pretty bad option. I mean, Soul is exists, I guess, but again, no pursuit is really bad. Uh, HP is bad. Other stats are fine, but yeah, no. He's not providing enough to the table. Jamka, no pursuit, but he does have a couple other skills. I mean, you can pursuit ring, I guess. Oh, right. Actually, the thing is, Jamka, you might be surprised to learn, has no skill. It's really bad. So these two that are kind of wanting extra skill, they're not getting it. Not from Jamka. Um, do I think no meaningful reason to pick? I mean, he does give good strength, but like I guess so does Arden. Um, I mean, I guess there's a couple skills going on there, but yeah, no. Again, don't pick this one. Holland, pursuit as a class skill. These two can actually use Luna because they're sword users. Yeah, probably up here. Yeah, on them, I think I do want Luna over crit. Does give sword inheritance, but the +1 rank to sword doesn't actually matter on these two at all. They can already use A rank swords, and it's not like it puts them up to star rank or anything. So, yeah, no. Overall, nothing special other than, I mean, I've mentioned a few times by now that these two uh, could use some extra skill, and oh boy, does Holland ever give them that. So there is that. But overall, yeah, still not particularly recommended. Um, Beowulf, basically your best option. Yeah, I mean this is a common pick for a good reason. Um, he gives pursuit, he gives charge or cost or totsugeki, but like whatever you want to call it, but that doesn't matter that much. It's mostly about pursuit. Sword inheritance is nice. Like not much more than that to say. I mean, generally solid stats. Nanna is arguably better with Azel, but it's totally fine. Like it helps Delbud a lot more, and that's nice. Uh, Lowen, no. uh, I mean, magic exists, but like, just pick Azel. Yeah, no. You don't need extra speed on these two. Not really. Uh, yeah, you get adept and critical, but you don't have pursuit. I mean, I guess adept and critical or something. But yeah, still no. Bad stats physically, like no, not recommended. And oh boy, is this one ever? Well, actually, okay. So Claude, your Delmud will be terrible, absolutely terrible. No extra skills, no sword inheritance. Not that he super needs the sword inheritance, but bad physical stats. Nanna will get +1 staff rank and also a magic stat. A somewhat decent magic stat. Okay, so what Claude does actually is this allows Nanna to have B rank staves, which means recover, warp, restore, silence, sleep, and oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, the main thing here I would say is restore. Restore is a pretty nice thing to have actually in genealogy, and it is ranged. Uh, Having that on Nanna is pretty nice. Warp is fine if you. I mean, I don't think warp is super useful, but having that on a mount like Nanna is better than most other options that could warp. Um, yeah, overall, I mean that's what elevates Claude up here. Do I want to put him down here? Yeah, I think I kind of want to put him down here, because the thing is, Diarmuid will suffer so much with this pairing. And the thing is, while I am largely ranking these in a vacuum, you have other staffers that can staff. So like, it isn't. You don't need to sacrifice Diarmuid this much just to have. I mean, you get Lana at the start of the game that already has B rank staffs at minimum. So like, having another B rank staffer, I mean, it's not bad, but like, I don't think it's super good or anything, given what you're losing with Diarmuid. All right, so Fee and Seti. These two will already have Pursuit by default, regardless of who you pick. Um, Aside from that, they have a little bit of mismatch depending on what they want. Fee could use a bit more strength, and Seti could use a bit more magic. Although Fee can still make use of magic after she promotes, so that is a thing. Without further ado, though, Alec gives, I would say, probably no meaningful niche. Um, this is kind of bad stats for Seti here. Awareness exists, but it's not that good. Actually, no. I think I'm going to put him up here. The thing is, awareness negates criticals in this game, and effective damage is done by criticaling. That means you're immune to bows, or at least immune to the effective damage of bows as Fee with this pairing. With that said, I don't think that's that useful overall. I can't think of anything off the top of my head where that would be like super meaningful. Um, I think this is actually one of the worst games for Flyers. Kind of a bit of an aside, I guess, but Flyers are kind of usually relegated to doing weird, odd jobs in this game because of the existence of roads, which increase your movement, which Flyers actually can't benefit from, which is, I mean, an interesting way to to balance what are usually very overpowered units in the series. But it does relegate their roles a lot as far as what they're doing. They're not, your usual band of horses that are doing their usual things because they're going to fall behind. I think they also have less movement, very slightly. Um, well, they do in practice because of roads, regardless. Anyways, that aside, Noish. I mean, he gives critical. Probably better overall than Alec. Nothing too much to say there. I mean, the stats are kind of actually. Wait, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's critical. Critical's nice. It exists. Arden, once again, probably no meaningful reason to pick him. Actually, I mean, decent physical stats for Fee, not so good for Seti. Advantage is not super great on either of them. I mean, it's better on Seti, but again, you're sacrificing magic by a fair amount by picking Arden. Finn, Miracle. That's about it. Bad for Seti. Lex, double experience and vantage. This is not something either of them really care about. And again, bad magic for Seti. I mean, double experience is nice. Seti doesn't need it. He's already promoted. And Fee has fine enough combat that she doesn't need the double experience and isn't helped that much by Lex in other ways. So, I mean, probably better than Finn overall, but yeah, no, not super great. Azel. So we're helping out the magic on both of them, but not providing any skills. I think top of um, maybe could even go solid, but yeah, no. I mean, the magic helps Fee, and I mean, it helps both of them a decent amount. All right, technically, this allows Seti to use A rank fire, which means Bolganone. However, you're probably not gonna be wanting to use Bolganone anyways, so yeah, I'm not really counting that for that much. Yeah, Midir, um, Accost is fine. Uh, Honestly, probably better than everything that we've seen so far. Is it? No, no, it's not actually, because the pursuit that he could grant is wasted here. Um, Stats are very unremarkable. Doesn't do anything special, but is serviceable, I guess, kind of. Actually, no, no, I'm gonna put him in no meaningful reason to pick him. No, I'm gonna put him here. Um, I mean, having extra rounds of combat is funny on SETI. Fee doesn't really want that much, I don't think. Um, yeah. Okay, do good stats and bargain. Do any of those super matter? I mean, you know what? All right. So looking again at the stats, do gives the better magic stats out of most of these characters. Not Azel though. Azel's better. And Seti's actually really crippled if you don't pick a magic option here. So I'm actually going to put these down here because that is really bad for him. Uh, yeah, do at least gives. I mean, we're being really charitable here. He's the best one out of the non-magic options, and it's 15% for our boy here. That's still really bad magic growth. Um, with that said, Sage has a base magic of 15, so he will have at. I mean, even if his internal magic stat was 0, it would still be 15 magic. So there's that. And it's good for Fee's stats. The thing is, I don't think either of them super care about bargain. Uh, Fee can use soul when using swords, I guess. Is that gonna help her very much? No, not really. So yeah, I mean, we've kind of just gone over a bunch of not very good options so far. Jamka, absolute worst magic in the game, along with Beowulf. So that's really a point against him for Seti here. Um, Fee kind of likes his strength, I guess. Uh, you get you get a cost and um, adept from Jamka, so that is something. Um, I mean, adept is really good, especially on a sage. Sages have 15 base speed also, so and Pegasi are fast too. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna, even though his magic is absolutely abysmal, I gotta put him at least this high because that is something, right? Um, Beowulf. Sorry, not Beowulf. Holland. Beowulf is next. All right, so I think I was wrong earlier when I said do helps with soul on Fee when using swords. I think I misremembered. I think that skill is for only foot units. So yeah, that's a mark against Holland now, who can't pass Luna to Fee in any kind of meaningful way. Um, he does give +1 sword rank though. So the +1 sword rank that Holland provides means that Fee before promotion can use the silver sword and any of the 3 blades. This is marginal at best inheritance, and she can use A rank swords on promotion anyways. So there's that. Um, I mean, it helps both of these kids have a skill growth, which what's that going to do, honestly? They can't proc Luna or anything. Um, yeah, I think this is no meaningful reason to pick him. I mean, technically, it's the highest HP growth in the game that Holland always provides kids, but do these two really super need HP growth at the cost of like honestly making Seti really bad with his 10% magic growth? Well, I mean, it's not that it's really bad, I guess, but like it's not great. Um, yeah, I don't think there's a meaningful reason to pick Holland, honestly. Beowulf gives Beowulf gives charge. Um, that's about it. Terrible magic. Actually, yeah, no, terrible magic. Yeah, this is not great. I keep saying charge or cost or Totsugeki, whichever one you're used to hearing. Um, don't pick Beowulf. Don't pick him here. And the you might notice that the top two tiers are very not not occupied yet, but yeah, we have the canon pairing here, Lemon. Very good for Seti, and for Fee, it's okay. She gets critical and adept, which are both nice combat skills. She already has pursuit. Um, it will also help her magic because she gets staff on C rank staves on promotion, which I mean is something. But mostly it's for Seti here, who will get access to the best weapon in the game. I don't think it's particularly controversial to say that, is at least in terms of something that's actually available for a decent amount of the game. Um, yeah. Overall, very very solid option. And what I think is actually, what do I think about Claude? I do think this is a more recommended pick overall because giving Lowen to someone else. However, I think if I'm ranking this in a vacuum, I think this is still better. Um, Claude is a very good pick for both of these characters. With Fee, she gets more magic and can use stabs on promotion. Or excuse me, can use B rank stabs on promotion. I went over that earlier with Nanna and how much she is helped by that. But in this case, you have these niche options like restore and warp, but on a flyer who is in perhaps random weird spots on the map. Um, so you have that. And for Rossetti, it gives him a lot more luck, which you might not think you care about that much, but he's already like really close to being a good dodge tank. Like it isn't just Lewin with Forcetti that allows him to be a dodge tank. You will also have that with Claude thanks to all the luck because Sage already has a base speed of 15, so you're going to have 15 at minimum speed regardless. So his speed's going to be like great regardless of who you pick. And with Claude, you also get great luck. So you have both great luck and speed. And you will also have access to all stabs in the game instead of only being at B rank stabs. So that means rescue and technically Valkyrie, though that's kind of niche, of course. I guess if you want to do some of the earlier shenanigans with Balmung trading, you probably want someone to be able to use the Valkyrie staff. But yeah, no, that's super niche. Having the main thing that you're getting out of Claude here is you still get a solid magic stat. You get an amazing dodge tank still, even if it's not as like absurd as with Lewin. because I mean I didn't go into low end very much. I feel like Force City speaks for itself. If you know anything about it, like it's amazing. It's kind of game breakingly good, honestly. But he's still really good with Claude as the father. Um, and you get, like I said, rescue and fortify. Fortify. You get fortify. Um, Also, didn't talk about this much, but Fee gets access to. Oh wait, no, I think I did. Yeah, no, I mentioned that Fee gets access to B rank stabs thanks to Claude. So there is that, and higher magic stat to actually use some of the stabs. Not that staff range is affected by magic in this game. It's just how much you heal, really. But I mean, it's still nice to have. So yeah. Okay, so we're now ranking Arthur and Tine, two kids who kind of want a lot of the same stuff. They have Wrath by default, but nothing else skill-wise. So they could really use some Pursuit. They like having magic stats. So yeah. All right, without further ado, Alec. He gives Pursuit. Awareness not really helping these two very much, I don't think. But Pursuit is nice. He does lack a magic stat, though, so that's not great. Noish. Yeah, critical. I mean, you're probably playing around with the Wrath thresholds to get critical on these two most of the time if you're wanting to really use them. And Noish being able to randomly crit is not super appealing, I don't think. Arden. Arden's actually pretty solid. Um, he lacks a magic stat. However, Vantage Wrath is a thing for a reason. It is very strong, and Arden gives you that. Which, on that note, Lex is that but better because double experience, and these two could really use some extra experience. He is arguably even this good, frankly. Um, yeah, no, I think without reservation, I'm going to put Lex that high because these two really like both of Lex's skills a lot. Even though his growths leave a lot to be desired, he still makes a really, really solid option for these two because they really, really could use extra experience, and the Vantage Wrath combo is extremely strong. Finn. Finn gives you Pursuit. And I guess, you know what? Miracle is not the worst thing with if you're playing around with low health thresholds anyways. Yeah, no. In fact, would I even put Finn this high? Ooh, this is actually really tempting. Yeah, no, I think I'm going to put Finn this high. Yeah, this is a solid option. That's some good synergy right there. I mean, aside from the magic stat, which is very unfortunate. Okay, Azel. This is a fairly boring but very effective option. It gives you Pursuit and Magic Stat, something both of these want. Kind of unremarkable, not a lot to say about that regarding that, but I mean, it is what it is. Oh, also, you know what I haven't mentioned so far? Skill inheritance. Azel can actually pass down tomes to Arthur. Um, Trying to think how relevant that is in terms of like how locked off to real tomes are you? Yeah, no, I would say skill inheritance is actually pretty important. Um, Actually, no, base tome is fine. Actually, what does Arthur start with? I'm not actually sure. Let me check that real quick. All right, so Arthur starts with a basic wind tome, which is honestly fine. As also allows him to use Elfire, which who cares? I guess I don't care that much about Elfire. I mean, it exists. I'd rather just use the basic wind tome though. Um, so yeah, I mean, Azel's just a fairly simple but effective pick for this pairing. Um, Midir, you give Pursuit. You also give Charge, which you probably don't super want on these two in terms of bulk, but I mean extra rounds of combat. If I mean it'll still activate if they're not being countered. So there is that, but I can't super recommend this. Um, Do slightly better magic, but no pursuit. Bargain is not super great on these. Yeah, I'm going to go so far as to say there's no meaningful reason to pick him. I mean, he's better than Noish, but there's nothing actually appealing going on here. Jamka, accost and continue. I mean, no. I'm going to go with no once again. Oh, right. Also, the worst magic growth in the game. Yeah, no, this is horrible. This is horrible. Holland, good skill growth, but that's actually overkill. You already have good skill growth from their mother. Um, yeah, no, I'm going to go with no meaningful reason to pick him. Um, yeah, there's nothing to say about this. It just doesn't offer anything good. I mean, it's like the bad stuff like Alec, except doesn't even give pursuit. Yeah. And here we go. The actual best option. Arthur will love this. Do you like having Forseti from the start of the second generation? Because, oh boy, do I, and so does Arthur. You will not have Pursuit, and that is, a downside. But, what's a really good upside? Being invincible and being able to fight everything anyways. He gives Adept and Critical, and Forseti gives an extra 20 speed and an extra 10 skill. So these are going to be proccing lots anyways. And the ability to fight that much will get him lots of experience, get him closer to promotion quicker. Like, that's overall. Speaking of which, do I think Lex is better because of closer to promotion faster for Arthur? No, not quite. Yeah, because Arthur's promotion is Mage Knight, so he goes from 5 move to I think 8. It's either 8 or 9. Like, it's a significant boost because being 5 move is really rough. This also means that Tine can use Elwind before promotion, which is very nice also. So I mean that's really good too. And of course, skilled inheritance, or sorry, not skilled inheritance. Excuse me, weapon inheritance that Arthur gets with Lewin. All around very, very, very nice. Only thing they're lacking is pursuit, but there is a pursuit ring in the game which you can give to one of them. Not the worst idea. Beowulf. Pursuit, however, terrible, terrible, terrible magic. Also a cost, but yeah, no, abysmal magic stat if you pick him. Don't pick him. Claude. What do I think about Claude? Well, he's not giving you any skills, but he is giving you a magic stat. The staff rank doesn't do anything on them. They do get a luck stat, so they'll be a bit more evasive, kind of. I think that's solidly an eh. Maybe at the top of eh, just because magic stat, but I don't know. This is pretty bad. Yeah, no, I'll go down here even. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no. Don't do it. There are better options. Especially these top 3. These are all really good. And you know what? Do I think Finn is better than Arden? No. Arden has Wrath Vantage. Yeah, no. Okay. All right, so we're back for one little amendment I want to make to this part. Do bargain actually means that you can pass around the Paragon ring, and that's kind of a meaningful niche for someone who really, really wants to reach promotion. I did mention that a little bit with Lex and how these two really like that. So, and these two are pretty good at doing the arena. So buying that for the arena and then selling it after for no extra cost, and just being able to do that consistently is kind of nice. As for how much that elevates do, not a whole lot, because it's still no pursuit. Uh, yeah, but it is worth at least mentioning that it's something, you know. Okay, so Patty and Favel. This is another interesting one with a bit of mismatch going on. So Favel has Pursuit as a class skill, so he does not benefit from that. However, Patty does. So we'll see how things go as we go through this. Alec, um, Alec does give Pursuit, which is relevant for Patty. Sword Inheritance is a little bit relevant because of where she starts out. But I do only mean a little bit. I mean, it is swords, so swords are plentiful to buy. So yeah. Um, Noish gives critical, which is actually not bad on Favel. Um, but for Patty, that's not really giving you very much. I'm going to put him down here actually for now, but we'll see how things go. Arden is okay physical stats, but neither of them care about Vantage. Favel being locked to 2 range, and Patty having bad combat regardless. Um, yeah, no, I'm going to go with no meaningful reason to pick Arden. Um, Finn, Pursuit for Patty. Miracle is kind of nice for the ability to sometimes cheese the arena, which Patty could certainly use to get her up to. Because Thief's promotion is actually really, really good in this game. It turns you from a not very capable combat unit at all to significantly more capable. Although a big part of that is getting Pursuit, which Finn already gives you. So there is that. Yeah, I think he's probably better than Alec overall. Um, Lex. I'm inclined to say that double experience is actually super, super, super good for Patty. Pavel doesn't care about it nearly as much, but I mean, it doesn't hurt. I'm honestly tempted to put him this high. We'll see how things go and see if I still think that later. But yeah, no, double experience is something Patty really, really, really likes. The extra bulk doesn't hurt either. Because she really needs to be able to do more combat if you want to actually use her and level her. And Lex really helps you being able to do that. Favel doesn't really need a whole lot of help, but yeah. Azel. Well, you get the funny meme magic sword, which I mean, on Patty, that's a bit less of a funny meme. Thinking about it, that might be kind of genuinely useful actually, because that allows her to one two. No, no, actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna say that's solid. Um, Giving her an actual magic stat and pursuit, you can 1-2 range and steal at 1-2 range while doing actual damage with thanks to Azel. Yeah, no, I would say that's a solid pick. Um, Pavel once again doesn't super care, but he doesn't need to. He's functional already. Midir, he gives pursuit and a cost. A cost is not too bad on a bow user. He does not give swords to Patty, but that doesn't matter too much. Yeah, better than Alec, but worse than Finn, because Miracle being able to cheese the arena is useful for getting Patty leveled up. Um, Do. You might think this would work really well, but no, not really. Although Bargain is a little bit better here than most places because Favel actually does have a holy weapon that he can get to spam more. Um, and Patty can buy and pass around rings to help her with the arena kind of a little bit easier this way, but overall that's not it's still not super great. I mean, she does get soul, but also with how little damage she does, that's not going to be healing very much anyway. So I think Do is down here at best. Um, Jamka, no pursuit, gives a cost and adept. It's better than Noish. Yeah, no, that's still pretty bad though. I mean, a cost is good on Favel, and so is adept. Honestly, like it's fine for him, but Patty's not. But I mean, Favel's kind of fine regardless is the thing, and it's really not helping Patty. Okay, Holland. Yep, this one. Favel could kind of use a bit more skill. I haven't really mentioned that yet, but the Holy Bow's accuracy is only 70, if I recall correctly. Could kind of use more hit rate. This also is the funny meme highest HP growth in the game. Not that that's why he's ranked this high, but 175% HP growth is kind of funny. Um, while this is fine pairing wise for Favel, the main reason is this helps Patty function. So this is +1 sword rank for Patty, who defaults to C rank. Um, this means she can use the Brave Sword. And while you're probably not running around maps with the Brave Sword on, passing around the Brave Sword for the arena is really, really, really good. It allows units to. It doesn't cost money; it makes money. Okay, um, and this allows Patty to actually function and level up and eventually promote. So not only does she have that, I mean, she also has Luna, which is another way to punch through the arena. Luna with Brave Sword is really good. If you have a Brave Sword with 50 kills, of course, by this point, it's also really, really good to pass around and kind of just auto wins you the arena, more or less. Um, Not that you would necessarily have that, but basically this allows Patty to function. And once Patty promotes, she gets Pursuit as a class skill, meaning that she can actually super function as a combat unit, even like as a functional combat unit at least. And when she promotes, she will also have A rank swords. I think she has that by default as a thief fighter, but I'm not. Let me double check actually. Okay, yeah, no. Promoted thief has A rank sword regardless, so the +1 weapon rank from Holland disappears in terms of meaning once Patty promotes, but he's able to bring her to promotion better than any other option, which is a huge boon to her. It also is sword inheritance at the start, which I mean isn't super meaningful for reasons I've mentioned before, but it does help. And well, I guess worth mentioning that unlike Ira's son, Patty actually can't do the arena by default easily. So her having extra money, I mean, she's a thief, so I guess she can get money on her own regardless to get what she needs. But I mean, it is still nice having the free inheritance. So there's that. Yeah. All right. Lemon. Um, what do you do? Critical, adept, lots of speed, and giving you some magic. Is that better than Noish? Probably not, because the kids don't care that much about magic. I mean, I guess there's magic swords, but which are C rank, the Patty can use by default. Um, I mean, it's pretty bad regardless. I don't know. He's probably there. I don't care that much, to be honest. These are all bad options. Don't recommend it. Beowulf. Now, you might think this is pretty okay, but it's not that good. Um, Probably here. And yeah, no, I think Finn is probably better because of Miracle Arena Cheese. Um, okay enough stats. Pursuit. You do like Pursuit on Patty. Sword Inheritance is fine, but like overall, eh. Yeah, overall, eh. Claude. What do I think about Claude? No skills. That's bad. Especially bad for Patty. Um, Magic. Yeah, no. This is awful. This is pretty terrible. Azel's basically this, but better. Yeah, no. Don't pick him. Do you want your funny luck stat to be even funnier higher? Yeah, no. You don't need that. Luck sucks. Okay, so Lene and Corporal. And if for the observant viewers down here, this is the one time I will be ranking the replacement units. Okay, so as far as Lene goes, she's a dancer. Her combat is going to be horrendous, basically, no matter what you do. Um, Relevant stuff for pairings here is basically just passing down rings. Um, and Corporal is a late game level 1 staff bot. So, yeah, with that out of the way, let's talk about what the pairings can offer them. There's not going to be that much of a meaningful difference for most of these. Uh, but yeah. Okay, so Alec, I think this one is solid. As solid as it gets, I guess. Well, as solid gets for this. Again, most of these options don't matter that much. Pursuit, if you want Lene's combat to be ever so very marginally better. Corporal, once he promotes, will have Pursuit as a 5 move High Priest. So if you really want that, sure. I mean, he's solid. Noish, I think there's probably no meaningful reason to pick him. Critical is not doing wonders for either of these. Arden, likewise, no meaningful reason to pick him. Vantage is not going to help Lene kill something before it attacks her. It really won't. I mean, I guess it can help promoted Corporal do that sometimes. Finn gives Pursuit and Miracle. Although, wait, no. I think these two have Miracle regardless, right? Let me double check. Okay, yeah, no. Finn, these two have Miracle regardless. So Finn doesn't give that. Does give Pursuit, though. So, sure, I guess. Um, Lex, honestly, one of your best options. If you care about rank, then Dancers getting experience is kind of rough. And a level 1 late game unit could probably use extra experience for their staff spam. Lex is kind of your best option for both of these things. Again, this isn't like a super recommended pairing or anything, but like as far as these two are concerned, that's getting double experience is what they would want. And it's not like either of them care about their combat, with Pursuit being a very marginal thing, anyways. So, I mean, hell, this gets Corporal to combat faster. Um, Azel, one of your better options, I think. You get magic stats, so I guess Lene can use magic swords. and Corporal will have a better magic stat. I mean, these are very unexciting pairings all around until I get to a certain later one down here. But not much to say about it. Midir, Pursuit, I guess. Also Charge, but who cares? This is actually a pretty good one. I go with, you know what? Yeah, no, I think it's even better than Lex overall. For Lene, if you want to buy any rings, Bargain is nice, particularly the leg ring in that, but you can also just inherit that, but also do, well, actually, no, do would be passing down stuff to Corporal. So, yeah, it's fine. No, I think Lex is probably better overall. But yeah, no, I mean, staff spam, but you at half price and whatever, I guess, for Lene. Jamka, terrible magic. You get Adept and a cost. Okay, sure, I guess. In fact, no meaningful reason to pick him. Holland. Well, no pursuit, but Lene can use the Brave Sword in the arena. You can pass her around the Brave Sword so that she can maybe clear stuff sometimes, and she has Luna with that. That's a thing. She's still going to be really bad at combat overall most of the time, but I mean, yeah, the only B rank sword that's worth mentioning is the Brave Sword. I think the only other one is the Steel Sword, which you're not hyped to get. There's a bunch of cool C rank swords that she can use regardless, like the Defender or the Barrier Sword, or I think the Miracle Sword is also C rank. Yeah, Corporal doesn't care about Holland as the father, but whatever. I mean, most of these two don't care about most parents that much, but all right. And now we have this. So, I highly recommend against doing this, but technically, this will make Corporal the best Corporal that he could be once he finally promotes. You'll have a nice 5 movement force eddy user with worse stats than Lewin did, because Sage is a much better statted class than High Priest. It's a thing, sure. Lene doesn't care about this pairing at all. Whatever, I guess. Beowulf, Pursuit, Charge, or Cost, whatever. I mean, this is kind of just basically better Midir, right? Slightly better stats, otherwise the same. Claude. Do you like extra staff rank? And I mean, if you're going to get a Valkyrie staff, it might as well probably be late, I guess. I don't know. If you want someone to have the Valkyrie staff and whatever, Corporal will be able to use the Valkyrie staff. Lene will have a lot of luck, I guess. Our combat will be absolutely atrocious, but I mean, it was going to be atrocious anyways. But yeah, you get to inherit stabs on Corporal. It's a thing. Unremarkable. Now then, time for the funny one. I think, I think this high. No pairing. If you don't pair them, and you get, let's put Lelia up here too. Lelia and Charlot. So, The thing about Lene I mean, she's a dancer. Her combat is going to be, it's basically destined to be abysmal. Um, and Lelia's combat is also abysmal, but she has charisma. Now, 10% hit and avoid to units within 3 spaces for a support unit, sign me up. Now, with that said, for the most part, you're probably not going to be parking your dancer within 3 spaces in order to get this benefit. But I mean, it does exist some of the time. It is a very marginal benefit. Um, I would say one of the bigger downsides to not pairing, though, is if you want Lean to inherit the leg ring and night ring right away, Lelia will not be getting that right away. You're going to need to get her gold somehow. So that's a thing. That can be a bit of a meaningful setback, actually, if that's something you want to do. But if that's not something you want to do, then this is basically just free hit and avoid to units within 3 spaces. More interesting, though, is Charlot. So I put Lex way up here because experience is one of the things that these two would actually care about. And especially Corporal, who can do combat once promoted, I guess, kind of. Charlot gets double experience. He has Paragon. He also has the funny meme unique access to the only Berserk staff in the game. So if you want the Berserk staff, you need to not pair Sylvia. So yeah, double experience and unique access to Berserk staff. These are very marginal benefits, all things considered. Like you can just pick any other pairing for the most part, and it doesn't super matter, to be honest. But these two get a marginal benefit to not pairing them that is actually at least a little bit meaningful. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm ending the video on a little bit of a boring note because Sylvia's pairings are all kind of samey for the most part in terms of any kind of meaningful difference, other than, hey, look, funny, actual good replacement unit option time. So yeah, anyways, that was the video. Hope you enjoy or whatever. I just really wanted to ramble for a bit, so yeah, get this off my chest.